Good evening, and thank you for joining this evening's webinar. My name is Carl Horton. I am the Regional Manager for the Ontario Soccer Association's Play Development Department, and I look after the western part of Ontario. This evening's webinar will focus on the Let Us Play pilot project that we have running for the summer of 2016. We do have one more webinar scheduled for this year, and that is going to be on April the 14th, and that will be titled I'm a Grassroots Soccer Parent, and that will be hosted by Billy Wilson, Regional Manager for Play Development, and Billy takes care of the eastern part of Ontario. So tonight we'll take a look at Let Us Play. That is a pilot project for the summer of 2016, which will be run across all 21 districts across Ontario. This evening, throughout the webinar, if you do have any questions, please feel free to type them into the question box on your right-hand side. And once we get to the end of the webinar, I will answer any questions live so that you can get the answers directly. So during tonight's webinar, we're going to take a look at the current environment of grassroots soccer. We're going to take a look at what is Let Us Play, where and when the Let Us Play pilot project will be running, and the procedure that will take place if you need to use the Let Us Play. So with our current environment, we have lots and lots of grassroots soccer players across the province practicing hard throughout the week, learning new skills, making new friends, being in a social environment, being active, being athletic, looking to fall in love with the game of soccer. We also have many thousands of parents that are volunteering their time either as coaches or as mums and dads driving their children to and from practices, to the games and to their festivals. Without these parents and without the volunteers, the grassroots game of soccer wouldn't be able to be as strong as it currently is. So we thank the parents, we thank the coaches for volunteering their time. So the children have worked hard all week, and then their little World Cup final is their game. The festival that they attend on a weekend, or the district game that they would play. And this game is their opportunity to show what they've learned. It's their opportunity to practice their new skills in a competitive environment against players who they may go to school with. It's their opportunity to score goals or make saves if they're a goalkeeper in front of their family, their mums, their dads, their grandparents, their siblings, but it's their opportunity to explore the game and express themselves in the game. It is their World Cup final. However, sometimes we get these kind of situations that occur, and these kind of situations are out of the control of the coaches. As we all know, traffic in Ontario can be terrible at times. You could be heading towards a festival within your district and you could be stuck in traffic. And sometimes you could be stuck in traffic and sat on the highway for several hours without moving. If this occurs, then obviously the child that's in your car is unable to attend their festival or attend their game. Again, this is out of the coach's control. In the summer, many families have cottages. Many families may wake up on a Saturday morning and decide, hey, it's a beautiful day outside. Instead of going to soccer today, we're going to have a little family weekend away at the cottage, spend some family time together. Or, unfortunately, children could become sick overnight. They wake up Saturday morning, they're not feeling up to going to their game, so they're unable to get to their game due to health reasons. Again, all three situations are out of the coach's control. And in the past, what's happened is the coach may not find out about these situations until he or she arrives at the games. When he or she arrives at the games, they then find out that they don't have enough soccer players to be able to play the games. And in the past, the games have been forfeited. And when the games are forfeited, the children that do arrive end up very unhappy. They're unhappy that they've arrived at their festival. They've looked forward to expressing themselves in this game environment all week long, and then they get told, sorry, you can't play today because we don't have enough soccer players in attendance. It's not these children's fault. They've arrived. They've got there on time. They're ready to play. So unfortunately, we have unhappy soccer players, and we want to try to eliminate the games being forfeited. We want to be able to provide the children with their game, their opportunity to express themselves each week without any disappointment. So that's where we bring in the Let Us Play pilot program. Pilot program will be as follows. If a game day roster has less than the required number of players to play the game, players can be borrowed from the opposing team. So we'll take a look at the procedure, but if a coach has 2 or 3 players short, we don't want the game to be forfeited. The coach can have a simple conversation, and we can look to a couple of players from the opposing roster to agree to play for that coach for today's game. This way the children get to play the game. Players are given the opportunity to play in a pressure-free environment. There are no scores and standings. As long as the children are registered with the OSA, they're on the game sheet, they're good to play. It doesn't matter which team that they're playing for. So the OSA supports the opportunity for players to be able to play. And if we have to mix rosters, hey, let's do that. Let's allow these children to play their game. We could decide as coaches, I'm missing several players today. Let's mix up both rosters. Let's penny one side or one group of players up, and let's just play a game. Again, it's a pressure-free environment. It's an opportunity for the children to play the game without being disappointed. Let Us Play is something that's not new. It's something that the OSA now endorses and supports, and it's something that clubs have been doing for several years, whether it's been in the local club system or within the academy environment. It's a common sense approach to allowing the children to play their game. So this is what we want to see. We want to see smiling soccer players. We want to see happy soccer players. We want to see players enjoying the game that they're falling in love with. We don't want to see people leaving unhappy. If they're happy, they're excited, it keeps them falling in love with the game, and then they look forward to attending their next festival. Once they've had some disappointment at one festival, it's hard to get away from that. And we want to keep good memories in our children's minds. So the Let Us Play pilot project for 2016 will happen across all 21 districts in Ontario. It will only happen though at the U8 festivals for the summer of 2016. As we monitor the pilot project in the following years, our hope would be to bring it across other grassroots age groups to enable everybody to be able to let us play and eliminate the games that are being forfeited in Ontario. So the procedure is very simple, and through our animations here, hopefully we can explain the procedure and show you just how simple the procedure is. So one coach says, "Hi coach, I'm missing 2 players today. I really want the kids to play. Can I please borrow 2 of yours?" "No problem, I have lots. Let me ask a couple of my players to play for you. It will give them more playing time." "Thanks, that would be a great help. This way the children get to play the game and not be disappointed." "For sure. These children have worked hard all week and just want to play the game. Enjoy the game." So that just shows the simple conversation that can occur between the coaching staff when they find out that there are a couple of players short. Rather than forfeiting the game, let's use common sense, let's work together and ask the opposing coach, "Hey, can I borrow a couple of players?" The coach then speaks to his players or her players. A couple of players agree to play. Those players then go and play for the opposing roster for that game. Could be for the full game, it could be for half the game. You could have several players that are agreeable to playing on the opposing roster. If you do have players that need to go play on the opposing roster to enable the game to be played, my advice would be just to pinny the children up. Provide pinnies, allow the children to play the game, but use those pinnies so that the game leader can distinguish who's playing for who. I would also advise that throughout this process, the parents are aware prior to the festivals that this Let Us Play pilot project is happening. This webinar will be available on the OSA website. Please pass this webinar on to your parents so if they do see this situation happening, they're not wondering what's going on. They're aware of why this is happening and they're aware of the procedure so that everybody is on board. We're obviously going to be monitoring the Let Us Play pilot program, and we're going to monitor that with our districts, taking a look at game sheets, festival reports that come into the district office after each festival. Our hope will be that we see less games being forfeited with more games being played. We would also like to ask that coaches that are involved in festivals where the Let Us Play pilot program is used to contact us and provide us with some feedback. Our email is grassroots@soccer.on.ca. All we'd like to know is some simple information. Which district was you involved with? Which district was the festival involved with, and what was the festival? So who was hosting the festival? Which teams participated in the game that had to use Let Us Play? And let us know how it goes. We want to hear feedback from our members to enable us to be able to move forward and make the game better for our children. So in summary, very simple. The Let Us Play pilot project is happening in the summer of 2016. It's going to happen at U8 festivals across Ontario. If we do need to use Let Us Play pilot project, it's a very simple conversation between coaching staff using common sense just to enable the children to get their games being played. It's a player-centered approach, so we've got the players at the forefront of our minds when we're making these decisions. Again, we want the players to play their games. So rather than having these games forfeited, which has been the case in the past, allow the players to play the game and allow the players to play on the opposing roster. So that is this evening's webinar. As I say, we do have one more webinar coming up on April the 14th, which is titled I'm a Grassroots Soccer Parent, that will be hosted by Billy Wilson. The registration is available for that webinar now on the Ontario Soccer Association's website, so please feel free to pass this information on to members within your club and have them register. This webinar will also be posted on the OSA website within the next couple of days so people can view at their own leisure. As I said at the beginning, if you do have any questions, please feel free to type them in and I'll be able to answer them right away. We do have one question from Rebecca. So Rebecca, thank you very much for your question. And Rebecca's question is, who provides the pinnies? So as a coach, you would have with you your coaching bag, which would obviously include your soccer balls, your pinnies, your cones. All we're looking for is if you have to borrow a couple of players, use a couple of pinnies from your coaching bag, pinny those players up, place them on the field, and that will distinguish who's playing for who. Rebecca, I hopefully that answers your question, and thank you very much for your question. We don't have any more questions that have come through, but at the end of this webinar, please stick around. There will be a survey for you to fill out. If you do have any additional questions that you'd like to ask, please feel free to type them into that survey and we will answer them via email within the next couple of days. I'd like to thank you for attending this evening's webinar and we look forward to seeing you on the soccer field. Thank you and all the best for the summer 2016 soccer season.